guys, and welcome back to my channel. First of all, in this video, if I look a little bit drained out of energy, I'm basically very sleep deprived, even though I've slept enough and I haven't had coffee, so I'm a little bit tired because of that. I think I'm just PMSing, to be completely honest. But yeah, if I look down, low on energy and drained out, that is why. I just wanted to give you that disclaimer right in the beginning of this video. But like you can tell from the title, today's video I'm going to talk about some super hyped up products on YouTube or just in general. These are like cult favorite, like famous products that people absolutely frequently love, and I just won't buy those things. I just will not buy these particular products, and I have my reasons for them, which I will share with you in today's video. But yeah, let's get started. Let's start and let's talk about these products, and I will tell you why I won't buy all these products. So we have skincare, we have makeup, and then we have one kind of like miscellaneous beauty product category. So let's dive right into it. It's gonna be a long chatty video, so I'm gonna try to not talk about extra things, but you know it's still gonna happen. So anyways, let's get started. The first so we'll talk about skincare first, then I'll move on to makeup, and then we'll talk about the miscellaneous category towards the end, so that way there's a little bit of consistency and some points are kind of common among some of these. So yeah, keeping that in mind, starting with the first brand that came to my mind when it came to skincare specifically that I will absolutely not buy is Wishful Skincare. So this is a brand which is by, I think, Huda Beauty, I'm pretty sure. And she has her own makeup line, which I think is great. Again, some of the products I am interested in from her makeup line. Some of the products I just think are not meant for me, but keeping the makeup aside, I think that I can still give it a shot. But the skincare line in specific, I think, is very interesting. Let me just tell you, I love the packaging. I think that they have some great packaging. The fact that they use like the different colors and like even the kind of containers that every single product comes in, like the aesthetic, everything is beautiful, but that doesn't make me want to buy the products. And especially for the fact that it's a high-end skincare brand. Like I feel like I already give high-end skincare brands like minus points, because I feel like skincare needs to be affordable and accessible, where people are able to like repurchase those products every 3 months or so. Like I go through my products every 2 to 3 months, I feel like. So if I'm using a product every single day, I'm gonna go through it and I'm gonna have to buy it 4 to 5 times minimum in a year. So if something is more on the expensive side, that already makes me not want to buy something. And then on top of that, if it's like absolutely amazing, I will have to spend a good chunk of like my income every quarter to like repurchase those products. Why will I want to even get myself into that? So yeah, I think that's my main reason for not buying Wishful Skincare. I will say though that the only product that I was actually interested in from them was their cleansing balm. And again, I feel like nowadays at least I'm like wearing makeup every single day to work, and I use a cleansing balm every single evening to take off my makeup. So if I'm gonna have to go through something every month and a half, I would say, like cleansing balms I go through rather quickly. So yeah, if I have to go through something every 1.5 to 2 months, and it's like super high and expensive, that's just a big no-no for me. And there are so many affordable options out there, so like why do you need to spend your money on like an expensive one? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my reasoning for not buying Wishful Skincare. And another brand that has super expensive, like Wishful is like high end, I'm talking luxury pricing skincare. I just want to quickly talk about this brand as well, Dr. Barbara Sturm. And I recently got to know, I think someone was talking about this in their video. Dr. Barbara Sturm is not actually even a doctor, like she's not a dermatologist. So like, why is it called Dr. Barbara Sturm? Like, are you trying to you know, portray like a false image that you're a dermat and you're a doctor? Like, I don't want to even get into that. But my main reasoning why I will not buy Dr. Barbara Sturm is because it's crazy that people have to spend like $3,000 on a hyaluronic acid serum. Like $3,000, I would say, is around, is it 24,000, 21,000? How much does one hyaluronic acid? I mean, when I can like pay 500 rupees for a hyaluronic acid serum, that too I would not even pay that much, because I just think so many other products have hyaluronic acid. But that's a whole different thing altogether. I know people actually like hyaluronic acid, and for those people who want to use it, they can easily get like a 500 rupee hyaluronic acid serum. Why would you spend $300? No, never ever ever will I spend that crazy amount of money. Which is why when it launched in Nykaa, I was just like, who even cares? Seriously, let's just move on. I do not care. And yeah, that was that. um, Moving on next to another skincare brand that, if you would have asked me 4 5 years ago if I would want to get this brand, I would say, of course, I'm waiting to either order it through someone who's coming down from the US, because I have relatives there, or I would just, whenever I go to US myself, get this brand. But over the years, I have kind of realized some of the really shitty things this brand has been doing, which again, for ethical reasons, I think I would never want to support. A, but then B, now that we have again so much more affordable skincare out there, why would you want to spend a crazy amount of money on skincare? But the brand I'm talking about is Drunk Elephant. If you don't know, the founder of Drunk Elephant, or like someone from the top management, basically left nasty comments on people's posts when they were saying that a Drunk Elephant product did not work out for them. Like, if any other brand was in this position, they would have just been like, you know what, we're really sorry, not every product works for everyone. And they approach the matter in a much better way. But what Drunk Elephant said, or like the founder or whoever that person was, said that it's your skin that has a problem and our products are perfect. Or maybe they said something like, I think on like a different post, they said something like, oh, maybe you're using some other product from some other brand that is causing the problem, our products would never cause a problem, some sort of stuff like that. And I feel like because of that, so many people stopped using Drunk Elephant in the in the skincare community and in the skincare space. And this issue was being talked about for a while, and when I found out, I was just like, that is like, that's such a bad way to deal with a situation like this. That's the first thing, obviously. But the second thing is, like, again, a lot of the products that they make, there are so many affordable dupes out there in the international market as well as the Indian market as well. Like, you can easily replicate their L-ascorbic acid serum with any other L-ascorbic acid serum. Similarly, they also have the exfoliating serum, which again, there are so many exfoliating serums out there. Why do you specifically just need the Drunk Elephant one? Their moisturizer, which I think the packaging is what really intrigued me, because I love the fact that not a single drop is going to go waste in the packaging. But again, there are other brands out there who are going to make similar moisturizers at a fraction of the price. So why do you specifically just need that one? You know what I mean? So yeah, Drunk Elephant, again, no, not happening. Moving on next, a brand that I would honestly love to support, because the founders of this brand are amazing people. So I'm talking about Farsali. So Farah Dukhai, I think that's how you say her last name, and her husband Sal Ali, I think is what his name is. So that's why it's like Farsali. So Farah ka Far, and then Sal Ali ka Sali. That's how Farsali is made. That's how, like, I did not know earlier that that's why it's called Farsali, because it's like their ship name basically, in a way. But this is a beautiful couple that I've been following for a long time, and I have so much respect for both of them as individuals and also as a couple. Like, Farah has struggled for years with her fertility issues, and now they have the cutest daughter. And they share on their Instagram, I think, that because they are kind of on this new journey with like parenthood and stuff, they've decided to shut their brand, which I think is heartbreaking to a lot of people, because so many people love Farsali's products. And I would say, kind of tried a few things because I did buy tiny samples earlier. But the reason why I'm saying that I will not ever like buy these super hyped up products comes with a little bit of a caveat. So basically, when I got those samples, there was basically nothing inside it. Okay, there was like hardly any product, and I literally felt like I could not even get one full use out of each of those. So I spent the money, that went to waste. But I honestly don't even feel like I have tried out their products, even though I did buy it. But there was like, again, hardly any products, so I can't say that I really got to use them. Which, for that, I have no ill feelings or anything. This is nothing related to that. I just want to mention this quick fact because some of you have been following me for years would probably know that I did buy them from Sephora. So in case you're wondering why am I putting this in my products I won't buy video, is because I would never want to like buy them again or try them again. I technically can't do that because obviously the brand is shutting down, but even if it wasn't shutting down, I still wouldn't buy these products mainly for the high price tag. Now I'm sure that there is something in it that's making it so expensive, which I do agree with. You know, I'm sure some ingredients might be super expensive and it must be costing them so much money. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the Farsali products are available across multiple retailers in multiple countries, and that also costs a lot of money on their part. So I understand everything, but I still can't justify the price. Like, does that make sense? I think most of the products in India cost somewhere around 3,000, 4,000 bucks. I think that's what like the retail price on Nykaa is that. And in abroad, I think it's $40-$50 for one bottle of serum, which is again kind of overpriced in my personal opinion. So yeah, again, Farsali skincare is going to be a no-no for me personally. And last but not the least, the last brand that we have to talk about in terms of skincare that I will not be buying is Fenty Skin. So Fenty Beauty, like the makeup brand, is one that I'm really interested in, and some of their products I think are really good, and I'm again really excited to try out. But Fenty Skin was something that I don't know why, but celebrity skincare brands don't really appeal to me, but then B, if they were coming out with something, I would have expected them to come out with something I don't know, better in terms of like ingredients and stuff. Like, I was really hoping that they would come up with like some active ingredients, and if they came out with like serums or something like that, that would be really cool. Personally, I feel like that. And of course, I love their whole sustainability and like recyclable packaging and stuff like that. Like, that is all really cool. But the products that they have, like the cleanser, the I think essence or like fat water or whatever it is, the moisturizer cum sunscreen, like all of that stuff, I really wish that there was a little bit more of like an active ingredient like approach to it, or like some elements of active ingredients in their products, like something. And again, I feel like Rihanna's demographic might not want something like that, but that's what I'm looking for just in general when it comes to skincare. And because that element was missing, I feel like, again, there's no reason for me to buy the products, and B, it's just super simple basic products that are not available here. I would definitely prefer something that's more available here. That would be one thing. And B, even if the products someday came to India, I still feel like I would never buy them because, again, the pricing, what you're getting for the pricing, again, not worth it in my personal opinion. So yeah, that's why I wouldn't get anything from Fenty Skin, and that's that, just my opinion. Moving on, next we have some makeup. And before we talk about makeup, I have one kind of like brand product to talk about that does include some skincare, and then there's also makeup. So I'll quickly talk about that because I think that is like the bridge between my skincare part of this video and then the makeup part of the video. So we're talking about Kylie Skin and Kylie Cosmetics. So Kylie Beauty in general, and just everything that has Kylie written on it, basically. So Kylie Baby, again, I feel like is not meant for, I'm not the target audience of Kylie Baby for sure. So I didn't even get into that. But Kylie Skin and Kylie Cosmetics, both, I feel like I'm just not interested in Kylie Skin per se, because again, the ingredients, the kind of products that they have, I'm just like, what is this? Like, why is this even here? And who's buying this stuff? Honestly, apart from the Kylie sunscreen, which is supposed to be like a dupe of the Supergoop Unstained sunscreen that I actually liked, I think apart from that, there is nothing from Kylie Skin that I would be interested in, like walnut scrub or like apricot scrub. What was that? Face wash, again, I've heard that is like turning color and stuff. It's like a clear face wash when you get it, and then over a couple of months it becomes orangish in color, like amber. Weird, super duper weird. And then when it comes to Kylie Cosmetics, again, their liquid lipsticks at one point I was really interested in, but then when I thought about more and more, I just don't like the fast fashion model when it comes to makeup. I feel like there needs to be some staple basic products that are always in your collection, and I'm not a big fan of like new collections that then get discontinued and stuff like that. And I feel like Kylie just keeps collabing with all of her family members, and she has a pretty big family. She keeps collabing with them, comes up with new collections, and then something in a particular collection, if I like just because of the color or something like that, I will not be able to get later on. So then what's the point even? That's my whole thing with Kylie Cosmetics. And then one product I would say I was actually very interested in was their blushes, because they have matte blushes, and not a few months, but like close to I think a year ago or so, I feel like there were not enough matte blushes in the market, but now they are. So I feel like even in the Indian market there are so many matte blushes available that I don't really need to specifically look forward to buying the Kylie blushes like 2-3 years from now when I get to visit US or something like that. That's not something I'm looking forward to anymore. So that's the reason Kylie Cosmetics and Kylie blushes are also off my radar. Just not interested in that brand at all. Anyways, moving on to talking about the rest of the makeup products, another very 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 cult favorite, like this again, there was a time where these were the only eyeshadow palettes that were talked about in the market, and that was Morphe. Like the Morphe super huge 35 pan eyeshadow palettes, like of course you have not forgotten about them yet, were the thing. And there was a point where I was really interested in these, but then eventually I just realized that I am not the person for eyeshadow palettes, because there are hardly few shades that I'm using from these palettes, and the rest of the shades are just going to go to waste. So what's the point? I can just buy single eyeshadows in the colors that I actually use and actually wear. And not gonna lie, even the Jaclyn collaborations with Morphe really appealed to me, and I would just be happy to buy it just to support Jaclyn. But then on the other hand, I realized that there are other ways of showing support as well. You don't need to spend your money on something that you're not going to use just to support someone that you love. So for that reason, like, Morphe is now just officially totally out of my radar. I don't give dash about Morphe anymore. There was a time for it when they were at the top of like being famous and stuff like that. Now we're all just over it. We're all just totally over it. At least I can tell you I am. I mean, I'm sure there are people who still love Morphe, still use Morphe, but they're not as popular as they were earlier, and I'm just again not interested in them anymore, basically. Moving on, next is a brand that I feel like when I started getting into makeup, like this was the it brand. Like people would highly recommend you check it out, and it was so expensive back then to me. Like I could never imagine buying something like this, and I was like, someday I probably will, but now I think that's kind of like I'm not interested anymore. And I'm talking about MAC. So MAC was the thing back in 2015 when I was just getting into makeup, and it was like even like a 1500 ka lipstick. Like back then MAC lipsticks were 1500, and it was so expensive to me that it took me, I think, 2.5 years to buy my first MAC lipstick. So I bought my first MAC lipstick in the summer of 2017, I was doing an internship back then, and I remember earning like 5,000 bucks from that internship. And when it's your like first actual job, even though it's just an internship, but back then I was like, this is my first job, and I have to, like, you buy gifts for yourself from like your first salary, you buy stuff for your parents. Like, I did all of that back then, and 5,000 rupees me, I bought my mom some gifts, I bought my dad some gifts, and I bought myself like Mac Meher from that 5,000 rupees. So basically there was nothing left at the end of the month, but yeah, I did that. And I was so happy to just own Meher. And over the years, obviously, I bought the Shreya Jain Diwali, like her first collaboration. Like, I know this year also for Diwali she's done the collaboration, and I think this collaboration actually includes Meher along with a couple of other shades. And this time I think I was just so busy and I was just out of the loop. And even if I was probably in the loop, I probably would not have picked up the collaboration box set thingy this year, but I did buy it last year. And I think the lipsticks I do really like. That being said, I will not buy anything MAC anymore because it's not cruelty free, A, but B, even if it was cruelty free, some specific products that I would just never buy from MAC would be their strobe cream, which I know is going to shock a lot of people up there, because I understand that some people like strobe cream kind of products. I'm just not someone who likes those kind of products. That's the first thing, that would be the first thing that I would never ever buy from MAC, even though it's super duper hyped up. And B, their foundations. Again, the Studio Fix foundation is supposed to be like super duper full coverage, which kind of scares me, I'm going to be completely honest. And then, do they still have the Face and Body foundation? The Face and Body foundation is supposed to be like super duper lightweight, which again, not my cup of tea, and foundations in general are just not my cup of tea. So I think MAC face products and like base products in general I would really not be interested in. Like, even their concealer, the packaging of that was just weird. The Studio Fix concealer, it's like a pump concealer. Weird, again, really weird to me. So yeah, MAC face products I would never buy even if they were cruelty free. So yeah, that was that. Moving on next, I think we have just one more. Yeah, we just have one more makeup brand to talk about, and then we have the miscellaneous brand that I wanted to talk to you about. So the makeup brand, the last makeup brand that I want to talk about, which I will just never ever buy, is Charlotte Tilbury. So Charlotte Tilbury is this really beautiful, like the aesthetic and everything is so beautiful. And if you guys remember, a while back I spoke about how the Charlotte Tilbury contour and highlight, they have a duo, which again, this one I feel like it just might be the only exception that I might get. But even that, I feel like not anymore. Like, I just don't know if I can justify the pricing, especially when it's what it is basically is just a contour powder and a highlight powder together. And there are so many other contour and highlight duos up there in the market, or even if just not duos, like I can buy a drugstore affordable contour shade that I love and a drugstore highlighter that I really love, and I'm happy to have them in two separate compacts and two separate packagings. I don't really mind, but I would still spend so much less if I did that over buying the Charlotte Tilbury duo. You know what I mean? So for that reason, I think it would be hard for me to bite the bullet and buy it. But if I just wanted to try it, and they also now have a mini version of that, so I'll definitely get the mini version. If I'm just like, you know what, I just want to try it, I might probably still get it. But apart from that, be it the Pillow Talk range, I mean the Pillow Talk range, seriously, how much money has she tried to mint out of the fact that the Pillow Talk range, like the Pillow Talk lipstick and everything, became super hyped up, that she like made a whole range just for Pillow Talk. Like, it's obviously a cash grab. Like, I don't understand how people don't see that. I mean, if you like the colors, if you like the products, I get it, but still, just such a marketing gimmick, totally a cash grab. And then apart from that, like, even just again, high-end makeup, sometimes it can just be so difficult to justify the price. And again, I didn't mention a lot of other stuff, like again, Fenty Beauty makeup, there's a particular reason why I didn't mention that range, because there are some products that I think I would totally buy. Urban Decay as well, I feel like there are definitely certain products that I would get. Too Faced I wanted to mention, but then I didn't mention. And which other brand? There were a few other brands which I feel like again have similar high-end prices, but Charlotte Tilbury is not just high-end. I feel like it's higher than high-end, and it's a little bit less than luxury. And when I say luxury, I mean like Chanel, Tom Ford, stuff like that, Gucci. Those are like, again, those are luxury, and Charlotte Tilbury is kind of higher than high-end and more affordable when you compare to luxury. And again, for the products, for the prices, like even the products are absolutely amazing. Like, I'm not trying to say that Charlotte Tilbury products are not good in quality, because again, never use them, so how can I tell you if it's good quality or not? But I still just don't feel that I can justify the price. That's why I wouldn't buy them. That's the main reason. So that was all the skincare and makeup that I had to talk about. And the last category, which is kind of miscellaneous, is I want to say fragrance, and that is Bath and Body Works. Again, I feel like me in 2015, like 16-year-old me would have loved to like have Bath and Body Works all over her house, like the body lotions, the shower gels, the fragrance mists, everything. But 22-year-old me is just like, can't justify the price. Seriously can't justify the price. So I again haven't used much from Bath and Body Works. Scented candles I'm not even going to talk about, because scented candles in general is just not my aesthetic. It's not something I would use. I'm not someone who would just randomly light around a candle in the house. I would rather have like a room freshener, air freshener, something like that. I wouldn't just light a scented candle in my house. That's not my aesthetic. And again, personal preference. Here I'm talking about their Bath and Body products and their perfumes and their body mists. So the body mists I would not buy, for the simple reason being that they smell amazing, but the longevity is, again, I hate to say that, but it's pretty shitty. And the body washes and the shower gels, body washes and body lotions, I would not get, because the body lotions I've been gifted, again, like I mentioned, my relatives who live in the US and stuff like that have gifted me a bunch of different scents over the years, and I do like using them when I do have them, but it's not something I would go out and buy myself, because it's, again, you don't get enough quantity for the price. It's pretty expensive for what you get, and it's just something that, again, it's a great experience, but it's not something that, again, super moisturizing or like super long lasting fragrance. Like, none of that is true about these products. So what's the point, kind of? And the same thing goes for the shower gels as well. You can get other shower gels that you get way more quantity with at a much more affordable price. So yeah, why would I spend so much money on Bath and Body Works? I don't know, can't justify the price. So yeah, that was the last category, and this video is definitely longer than I had expected. Are you surprised I'm saying that? I'm sure you aren't, but yeah, those are all the brands and products that I would just not buy, even though they're super duper hyped up, raved about, people love them, will continue to. And if you are someone who loves any of these brands, any of these products, love and enjoy your products, I hope you continue using them and get your money's worth out of these things. I just don't, like, I just can't justify the price for some of these. Some of them I don't support the morals and ethics. Again, I've told you my reasons for this video, so I'm not gonna go into that all over again. But yeah, those are all the brands, those are all the products, and those are my opinions. And yeah, I'm gonna end the video right here. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.